って何してんの
Hey! Stop watching this shit! It's time for anime!
Great! You owe me a TV, mate.
Well, I reached 500 subscribers. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do for this in the grand scheme of things. And then I saw this. Honestly, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Pretty much to those unaware, the YouTuber Giga came out with a video full of moments that left him speechless. Hell, if I were to make a video like that prior to finding out, some of these moments may have ended up being on here. But I don't really... My voice cracked. But I don't really want to bring up the same shows, let alone the same moments he brought up, because... I mean, I think it's kind of boring like that. So instead, digging into the file cabinet that is my nostalgia of anime, I'll be taking moments from those instead. It also should be noted that some of these shows may end up getting content ID'd if I'm not careful, so there might be a slight visual or audio alteration to avoid that shit. And again, this is also sort of on the fly. I don't really have an order or theme to go with this. This is mainly just a handful of anime that was burned into my memory for one reason or another. Oh, and one thing I will steal from that video is that any moments in particular I want to talk about, I'll give the show an episode away in case you want to see it for yourself before I end up spoiling it. So without further ado, musical pieces in anime are a dime a dozen.
I know you're not allowed to have pets, but I'll make you a glorious deal. Fucking bullshit. Fucking bullshit.
But every now and then, you get that one song that's made for the show that just sticks with you as well as the moment. Whether it be something like Naruto and watching him and Sasuke fight it out on a rooftop as that metal-ass theme plays, or Soul Eater and the Resonance Link. But for me personally, a moment that I'll always come back to when I think of a breathtaking anime moment with good music is Terror in Resonance Episode 4. So for context, the terrorist organization Sphinx, who plants bombs and leaves riddles for people to solve in order for them to figure out where the bomb may be, has acquired an accomplice as well as a nemesis in the form of an old detective by the name of Shibazaki, who's foiled one of their bomb attempts after getting the answer right. The bomb in particular is around the story of Oedipus, with a piece in particular being Know Thyself. All the while the accomplice, Lisa, is homeless and questioned by cops when 12, one of the terrorists, comes for her on a bike and takes her away. All the while, the police force take it upon themselves to get a one-up on the bomb and disarm it before it's too late. Even with Shibazaki figuring out the answer, the bomb goes off anyhow due to them not abiding by the rules. But not a traditional bomb of sorts, rather a more modern one. Classified investigation reports end up being leaked throughout the internet, alongside live footage of the police attempting to stop it. The moment itself deserves mention for the execution of tension and subversion alone, especially with the music that plays. But what sets this moment here on this list is the bike ride with 12 and Lisa. Set to Yoko Kanno's Is, this moment to me really encapsulates visually what it means to be free. From the silence from both characters, to the animation selling the speed, the moving environment, the wind, followed by a simple question that contrasts the moment, but also feels in line with the show. Behind all the beauty and wonder, there's a darker side to it all, even past what's on the surface of them being terrorists. This one was an absolute tricky one, because I wanted to bring up a memorable performance, be it Japanese or English, and gush about it. Regardless of what some hypocrites will say, anime dubs are much better now than from the days when you could tell they just got whoever to voice the characters and nobody cared.
But if you don't meet this challenge, I'll run your teeth so far down your throat you'll be able to chew with your ass!
And ultimately, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have several picks I could use in the place of one I chose, like Megumi Toyoguchi as Revy in Black Lagoon.
You gonna give me something, right? Well, come on. What the fuck are you trying to say, huh?
Or Keith Silverstein's performance in Devilman.
I'm wrapped in a cocoon and the pain still lingers. I'll break out and be that butterfly like it says on my fingers.
From Mamoru Miyano's performance as Tsukishima in Tokyo Ghoul. To Clifford Chaplin's performance as Bakugo in My Hero.
I can't get it out of my head! It's like it's constantly playing on loop! So what the hell am I supposed to do?
There's honestly a long list of actors and actresses over the years that have made some pretty stellar performances in the grand scheme of things. But ultimately, I'd have to go for among all of them, Jonah Scott's performance as Legoshi in Beastars Episode 4.
Okay, Bill. If you say that consuming rabbit blood is justifiable performance enhancement, then show me what it does.
Okay, this does need context both in and out of the anime. So, truth be told, I had never heard of him prior to Beastars. I found he had done some stuff before this, but nothing that really jumped out at me. Hearing his performance the first time as his character, it took me by surprise, just how he sounded like he was giving his all.
Your uniform. I'm gonna go. Have a good day.
Next to that, there's also an episode of Honeycast with some of the actors in Beastars where he opened up about his job prior to this, and even him finding out he was going to be the main character Legoshi.
I attest to this. The best group of people I've ever met. They're so nice. And they're so kind. It became a job really quickly, and I'm slowly getting a handle of it. I was like, wow, okay, the Japanese actor really gave it. Holy crap. Whoever is doing this that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be a lot of screaming. It's gonna be nuts. And then and we go back to the whole like 5 minutes before I'm supposed to record thing, where it's like, you're playing the lead now. You're not a tiger. You're playing the lead now, man. Get in there, do it. And it was scary because you look at the animation and you think to yourself, somebody spent days, weeks, months making this so perfect, and it looks fantastic. When it came to Beastars, it was like, oh my god, I gotta make this sound good. Oh no, fuck.
It has to be fucking perfect.
It's gotta be It's gotta be perfect. I just kind of improv'd a lot of stuff and tried to make it something I would want to watch, something I would want to listen to.
Previously, this moment in particular stuck out to me just by how well animated and how good the acting was, but this added context of him anxious and freaking out over if it'll be good or not to me, honestly, that adds this layer of credibility to his performance in all of it. Beastars is a show about a lot of things, but mainly how society and people place labels and stereotypes onto others, believing it's the norm, with herbivores fearing carnivores and carnivores wanting to devour herbivores. One character in the midst of this is Legoshi, a wolf that has a tendency to fight his innate desire for craving animal meat, which we see with a young rabbit who he ended up cutting her arm in the middle of the night. Upon Louis, who's a deer idolized by the school, upon him breaking his leg and being unable to act as the lead in the play, it falls to a tiger named Bill, who Legoshi catches doping off rabbit's blood. During the play, after finding out, Legoshi goes off script, and next to the audience and the other performers left dumbfounded, all Legoshi manages to do while beating up Bill is cry out. More and more as the moment goes on, he starts to lose himself and just go off. Honestly, this moment in particular hits home that feeling of being a person in a world like this. That anger, the want to punch something mixed with thoughts and emotions of wanting to be the better person, but deep down hating yourself for being no different. Honestly, considering that it was one of his biggest roles, Jonas Scott's performance as Legoshi really sells the moment in this. Every time I see it, I never think something's off or odd. I just see what the story wants me to see. A lot of anime has had tearjerker moments. From deaths to heartbreak, from acts of kindness to the harsh reality of the world the characters live in, or just how messed up the characters are. Whether it be Mace Hughes in Fullmetal Alchemist, or the latter half of Toradora, Angel Beats, or even Cyberpunk Edgerunners. A lot of series over the years have had a moment that'll make it just bawl your eyes out. And I gotta admit, that moment for me is found in Hunter x Hunter, episode 146.
Aluka.
Interestingly enough, while this is almost near the end of the anime, the story by itself doesn't actually spoil any of the major events that happened before, but yeah, major spoilers if you're planning to watch the show. Killua in the story is determined to help Gon however he can, but in order to do that, he needs the help of his little sister, Aluka. Aluka has an alter ego of sorts that can grant wishes after being met with 3 demands of sorts called Nanika. Basically, think Wishmaster, but with a husky's level of childlike innocence. The thing is, everyone in the Zoldyck family sees Aluka as nothing more than a problem they can't actually get rid of. A dangerous monkey's paw, if you will. Killua, on the other hand, is the only one that sees his sister as a part of the family, with Nanika being the reason they all reject her. After making his wish, along with Nanika, he asks that she never come back out again, in the hopes of Aluka finally being set free. And when all seems said and done,
she's all curled up now and crying her eyes out! If you're nice to me, that means you have to be nice to Nanika too! Okay?
No, I'm gonna cry!
Make us cry!
it turns out that Killua had it all wrong. Nanika was never really the source of Aluka's problems. She was actually just another part of Aluka that ultimately Killua deep down never realized was the case. Everyone in the Zoldyck family saw both Nanika and Aluka as monsters, nothing more than a tool to gain whatever you so desire. Killua in his own way was no different. The sunken eyes and hollow mouth of Nanika that gave off this horrifying expression shifted from a constant happy expression to really all she was. A little girl who was all alone. Deep down, all Aluka and Nanika wanted was to be with their older brother.
Please forgive me for being such a bad big brother.
Okay. I love you, Killua.
Oh man, I can't take this anymore.
Tsubone, Killua's been released from his precaution level.
Yes, I would be happy to oblige, madam.
When it comes to hyped up moments, a timeless trope I have a soft spot in some of the best series is blasting that opening song to a moment like no other in the show. Soul Eater, Kekai Sensen, motherfucking Gurren Lagann. If the series has got a badass opening and includes it in the show, it is an easy formula to get hyped up for what comes next. But it is so goddamn hard to pass up the moment that utterly left me speechless. In Ancient Magus Bride, episode 12. At this point, Chise had been away from Elias for quite a bit, and the feeling of loneliness had been weighing on both of them. Chise was back in the land of the dragons to get her own wand, crafted from the branch of a dragon that spent his final moments with her, letting her know the feeling of flying through the sky. Upon going home, she could easily have taken a ride home on a dragon, but instead, fire sprites surround her, intending to aid her in her wish to go home, transforming her into a roaring, majestic phoenix. Taking flight, soaring across the land, through the clouds as Here by Juna plays, building up and intensifying this moment. The animation really plays its part to sell this as something momentous. And then, yeah, that. You could disagree with me on this as much as you'd like. That was fucking perfect. There's nothing I can say that will better describe this moment. I think I'll close this one on something interesting. Depending on the people making it, anime adaptations tend to do something original. Sometimes this results in a new storyline, such as Fullmetal Alchemist 03, Blue Exorcist, or Promised Neverland. Sometimes this results in fillers, such as Naruto, Bleach, or One Piece. But every once in a while, you get an adaptation that adds something original, albeit, well, not that much of an addition, can go such a long way. And for me, the one adaptation that has a moment I will always remember on is Persona 4 The Animation, Episode 23. After being caught in a bind between a threatening letter to Narukami and Nanako being kidnapped, dealing with what seemed to be the true culprit and watching Nanako die at the hospital, the investigation team come face to face with Namatame, the person they believe to be the one responsible for the murderers. The clock strikes midnight, and they all see Namatame's shadow on the midnight channel, claiming that he failed to save her, but he'll keep on saving people, knowing that he can't be stopped. It should be noted in the game, this is the first real instance of a multiple choice ending. Everyone's saddened over Nanako and pissed off at Namatame to the point of even considering throwing him into the TV, not knowing where he'd end up, and very likely being sent to his death. However, this does cause them all to start fighting between what is the right option in this moment. In the anime, Narukami grabs Namatame, fully intending to throw him in, but stops short. Ultimately to him, something's wrong. It's almost like they're forgetting something important. So, they decide to hold off and think about what to do next. This is the moment I was talking about. Upon everyone going home, Narukami is left by himself outside the hospital, grieving over Nanako. However, Yosuke comes back to him, leading to Narukami asking,
"When I put a stop to things in his room, did I make the right call? I'm sorry."
Yosuke never answers, instead being a shoulder for him to cry on. This one scene isn't much of an addition to the story, but it honestly goes for so much. Little moments like these, moments that were never in the original story being added for the adaptation, can really help in terms of fleshing out the characters. In this instance, it takes a step back from the main character of Persona 4 being the lens for the player, and adds something more to the character. Doubt and curiosity mixed with sadness. It's instances like these that make me really enjoy anime sometimes. It's not just the animation, or the music, or the characters, or the emotions. It's all of it together. Anime, to me at least, has gone from being a simple means of entertainment into a means of addressing something relatable far more than words can. Visualizing an experience that almost makes it seem like a dream has come to life. Touching the hearts and minds of so many with something that feels so minor in scale, and just overall, being able to create so many memorable moments through fiction, simply through what we see and what we hear. I don't think there'll even stop being moments like these and more throughout anime. And I doubt I'm the only one who realized that. So I ask you, it doesn't matter if you make a video on it or if you want to comment. In terms of anime, what are your favorite things?